we've used Access Manager and the license reporting information and tools to do some basic troubleshooting. Let's take a look at this from a Unix perspective using command line tools. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log into the help desk. We'll go ahead and open up a new session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as Alex Foster, but I'm not going to use the local account Alex to log in. I'm going to use his domain account. So this is going to be A Foster. I'll be prompted for my Active Directory password once again. Now Alex Foster does have the Unix admin role assigned to it, which should give him commands to run elevated tasks or elevated commands. So let's run through some of these commands. The first one we're going to work with is going to be ADinfo. Now ADinfo is going to give us some information related to how this system is being managed by Centrify. Now earlier when we did the agent installation for this system, the ADinfo did not indicate any specific information because it hadn't yet been joined to a zone. The only thing that it did tell us was that licensing had been enabled. Now in this particular instance, since we have now joined the help desk to a zone, we can identify what zone it's in addition to its current status of being connected. And it will also tell us that licensing features are still enabled. So this gives us a little bit of information about where this system is located in the Centrify management scheme. Now another option that we're going to run through is going to be one that we've seen earlier, which is AD flush. But AD flush does require elevated privilege. So rather than use the sudo command, we're going to use a different command that's related to Centrify. And that's dzdo, which is the root equivalent that basically mirrors the sudo command. So we're going to run dzdo AD flush. Now keep in mind, Alex Foster does have the capability and has been granted privilege to run this elevated command. If I were logged in as Laura Bennett, for example, who does not have the Unix admin role assigned to her, she would not be able to run this. So how do we identify what roles and rights have been assigned to a particular user? The tool that we would use for this is dzInfo. Now dzInfo will give us a lot of information related to what roles and rights have been applied. As you can see here, this is going to take the local user, so this is going to be Alex or A Foster, and the roles that have been assigned, which is the Unix login, the Unix admin, the effective rights, whether or not MFA is required for login for this particular user, auditing information, and then if we scroll down a little bit further, we can break this down even more by identifying what PAM application rights Alex has, as well as what privileged command rights Alex has. Now remember, we created a privileged command right earlier in this training called all that was associated to all commands within the Unix environment. So you can see those are listed under the dzInfo results. Now another command that we can use in cases where group policies have been updated but haven't been updated at the system level, we can run adgp update, which will refresh the group policy information. Now another command that we can use is a diagnostic utility called adcdiag. Now this requires elevation once again, so we're going to run the dzdo command in front of it. And it's going to run specific tests against the direct control agent and the environment to identify if communication can be established and if specific features are configured properly. Now, as you can see here, it's going to go through a version check, a join state, zone checking as it relates to MFA, SSHD configurations, proxy configurations, as well as identity platform connectivity and authentication profiles.